After the reign of King Prithu, the earth slipped once more into silence. The forests whispered to the winds, and time flowed in endless ripples, waiting for another touch of divine purpose. From Prithu's bloodline was born a noble soul, King Prachinvari, the great-grandson of the man who had first made the earth fertile again. He ruled wisely, upholding the memory of his ancestors' promise to protect Buloka, the living earth. But when the season came for the old king to step down, he sought his 10 sons, the Prachettas, born of his union with the daughter of the ocean. They were radiant, devoted, and pure, men whose minds no longer lingered on the pleasures of the world. From childhood, they had been lost in the contemplation of one name, Narayana, when their father placed before them an uprooted plant, symbol of the throne now waiting for a new ruler. They bowed their heads in silence. "How can we rule," they said, "when we ourselves are ruled by him?" The thought of Vishnu pervades our every breath. There is no space within us for pride or power, for we are filled entirely by his name. Our only desire is to serve him through meditation. The king's heart trembled with both pride and worry. "My sons," he pleaded, "renunciation may lead you to heaven, but duty sustains the earth. You are born not merely to pray, but to protect, not only to surrender, but to serve. A kingdom without a king is a body without a soul." Moved by his words, the Prachettas folded their hands. "Then we shall seek his command, Father. We will meditate upon the Preserver himself. If he wills us to rule, we shall. If he wills us to remain seekers, so shall it be." And thus they departed, 10 brothers walking toward the endless blue, the horizon melting into the sea. Without hesitation, they stepped into the waters, their forms sinking slowly into the depths below. Beneath the ocean's surface, they sat cross-legged upon the sandy floor, their eyes closed, their hearts stilled, their minds lost in the light of Vishnu. Days passed, years vanished. The ocean waves rolled over them like time itself. Above, King Prachinvari waited, watching the sea from his palace balcony, praying every dawn for their return. But the waves gave him nothing. He walked to the shore each morning and returned each night with nothing but salt on his skin and sand upon his feet. The stars watched his sorrow. The ocean remained silent. And below, the Prachettas sat unmoving, 10,000 years in unbroken meditation. Then one day, from the stillness of the ocean, light began to stir. A radiance deeper than the sun and calmer than the moon bloomed across the waters. It grew and grew until the whole sea turned to gold. And from that golden light emerged Lord Vishnu, the Eternal One, seated upon the serpent Ananta, lotus-eyed and blue as the infinite sky. He looked upon the brothers with a gentle smile. "Your devotion has reached me," he said, his voice echoing through the ocean like music from another world. You have chosen love over duty, but know this: Dharma and karma are two wings of the same bird. Without one, the other cannot fly. The world needs your action, not your escape. Make me your strength, not your refuge. Go forth, rule the earth, and through your rule, serve me. The Prachetas bowed low. We shall, my lord. Your word is our command. But as the Lord vanished into the ripples, his final words lingered in their hearts like a whisper. Boloka needs you now, more than ever. When the brothers rose from the ocean at last, the sight that met their eyes turned their blood to ice. The world they had known was gone. The fields, the rivers, the cities vanished. Before them stretched an endless forest, wild, vast, unbroken. Trees towered like mountains, their roots choking the soil, their branches strangling the sky. The sun was dimmed beneath the thick green veil. The world was alive, yet lifeless. The brothers walked through that wilderness for days, calling out to any living soul, but heard nothing in return. Only the breath of leaves, the murmur of vines. Then, from the blaze of the horizon, the sun himself descended. 10,000 years have passed, said Surya, his voice echoing like thunder. Your father is no more. The world lost its guardians. Without kings, chaos devoured mankind. Civilizations fell, and the race of men was consumed by its own hunger. Only these forests survived, spreading across the earth like a second skin. The Prachetas stood silent, their hearts burning. In their eyes, that jungle was no longer life, but a curse. A monstrous being that had devoured their people. In their rage, they joined hands and stood in a circle. Their breath deepened. Their eyes flared with divine fire. And as they exhaled, tongues of flame burst forth. Fiery winds howled across the land, scorching trees to ash. The mountains groaned, the air roared, the sky turned red. But from the heavens came a cry, a voice silver and trembling, breaking through the storm. Stop, it called. Stop, O sons of the ocean. It was Chandra, the moon god, who shone down upon them, his light trembling with sorrow. I am the nourisher of life, and you are burning my children. These trees breathe because of me, and you are turning them to smoke. How can you destroy what you are meant to protect? The brothers answered, there are no humans left to protect. Once we die, mankind dies with us. This forest has no purpose. Let it perish. Then Chandra spoke again, his tone calm, his eyes shining like dew. What if I tell you that your lineage shall continue, that a seed of mankind still survives, hidden, breathing, waiting for you? The brothers hesitated. From the depths of the forest came the soft chime of anklets. A gentle fragrance filled the air. The fire began to fade. and through the smoke appeared a woman, luminous, serene, and otherworldly. Her eyes were deep as the ocean, her form like moonlight walking upon earth. "This," said Chandra, "is Marisha, daughter of sage Kandu and an Apsara. Born of penance and divinity, she has survived in this forest, nourished by the very trees you sought to destroy. These woods have protected her, for she carries within her the womb of a new world." The Prachetas stood transfixed, the fire in their eyes softened. Marisha spoke, her voice like a song. "In a former life, I was a queen. My husband died before his time, and I prayed to Lord Vishnu for 2 blessings: that my son would be like Brahma himself, and that I might have 10 noble husbands in 10 lives. The Lord smiled and said, 'You shall have 10 husbands, but in 1 life.' That time has come," she smiled with gentle reverence. "You are those 10. The Prachetas bowed before her, humbled and awed. Chandra's light brightened the forest once more. "And your son shall indeed be like Brahma, for he will be the mind-born son of Brahma himself, reborn to continue creation. From your union shall be born Daksha Prajapati, the father of all living beings, and the one who will one day give life to Sati, the beloved of Shiva." And so, under the gaze of the moon and the blessings of Vishnu, the 10 Prachetas and Marisha were united. Through their sacred bond, mankind was born anew. The curse of desolation was broken, and the song of creation began again. The world turned once more, the cycle continued, and far beyond the stars, the Lord who had set it all in motion smiled, for his word had been fulfilled. "Make me your strength," he had said, "not your escape." And they had done just that. Through faith, through love, through the endless rhythm of life and rebirth, Buloka had found her balance again.